Do not respond to a barking dog by barking back. Remain composed and let their noise reveal their weakness, while your silence proves your strength. Conflict is an unavoidable part of life, but the way you handle it determines your strength and wisdom. While many choose to confront their enemies head-on, the Stoics understood that true power lies in outlasting and outmaneuvering opponents with calmness, strategy, and virtue. The Stoic approach offers a way to dismantle your enemies without aggression, ensuring your dignity remains intact, while disarming those who try to harm you. In this video, we'll uncover 10 Stoic ways to destroy your enemy without lifting a finger. These principles will help you rise above petty conflicts, protect your inner peace, and grow stronger with every challenge. If you're ready to master the art of resilience and wisdom, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Resonate. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Master yourself first. The first and most important step in dealing with enemies is to conquer yourself. Anger, fear, and insecurity are the very weaknesses that your enemies can use to control you. If you cannot master your emotions, you leave yourself vulnerable to manipulation. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Consider a situation where someone openly insults you. If you react with rage, you've already lost because you've given them the reaction they sought. Instead, imagine staying calm, offering no visible reaction, and responding with dignity. This throws your enemy off balance, showcasing your strength while exposing their lack of control. Emotional mastery is the foundation of defeating your opponents without ever engaging directly. Self-mastery doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent effort and reflection. Spend time understanding what triggers you and why. Journaling is an excellent tool for identifying emotional patterns and addressing their root causes. Meditation can also help you pause and reflect before reacting, giving you the ability to choose your response wisely. Mastery of your emotions not only protects you from external attacks, but also empowers you in every aspect of life. When your inner world is calm and unshakable, no external force can control you. This state of self-possession is intimidating to enemies and inspiring to allies. In mastering yourself, you cultivate a strength that no enemy can penetrate. Instead of fighting them directly, you show them that their efforts are futile, as your composure and discipline make you untouchable. This is the cornerstone of the Stoic approach to dealing with conflict. Lesson 2. Use indifference as a shield. Enemies often seek to provoke you, hoping you'll react and validate their efforts. They thrive on your attention, whether it's anger, frustration, or even acknowledgement. The Stoics understood this dynamic and embraced apatheia, a state of indifference to things beyond their control. By practicing indifference, you deprive your enemies of the power they crave over you. Imagine someone spreading rumors about you. The natural reaction might be to defend yourself or confront them directly. However, by remaining indifferent and continuing to live your life with integrity, you send a powerful message their words are irrelevant to your reality. Over time, others will see the truth through your actions, and your enemy's attempts will lose credibility. Indifference doesn't mean apathy, it means selective focus. You choose to invest your energy in what truly matters, rather than wasting it on distractions. Seneca reminds us, if a person gave your body to any stranger who met you, you would be angry. Why then do you put your mind in anyone's hands? Your mind, your energy, and your peace should belong only to you. This practice requires discipline. It's tempting to respond to provocations, especially when emotions are high. But each time you resist, you grow stronger. Your silence becomes a weapon, unsettling your adversary and forcing them to confront their own futility. In many cases, their attempts to harm you will backfire, as others begin to see them as petty and you as composed. By embracing indifference, you become a fortress. Your enemies will find themselves powerless, their efforts wasted against the impenetrable walls of your calm. This isn't just a defensive strategy, it's a way of life that protects your peace and projects strength. Lesson 3. Outshine them with excellence. The best revenge, the Stoics believed, is living well. Instead of retaliating against your enemies, focus on surpassing them through your achievements. Excellence is a universal language that silences critics and humbles opponents. As Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Imagine a colleague at work who undermines your efforts. Instead of engaging in petty conflicts or retaliating, channel your energy into doing your best work. Let your results speak for themselves. When your contributions are undeniable, their attempts to discredit you will only highlight their own shortcomings. Excellence isn't just about proving your worth to others, it's about fulfilling your potential. When you focus on self-improvement, you naturally elevate yourself above those who dwell in negativity. This shift in focus from external validation to internal growth empowers you to rise above conflicts effortlessly. The beauty of excellence is that it creates a ripple effect. Your dedication and success inspire others to align with you, further isolating your enemies. Over time, their efforts to bring you down will seem insignificant in comparison to the legacy you're building. This approach requires patience and perseverance. Success doesn't happen overnight, but the journey itself is transformative. By committing to excellence, you dismantle your enemy's influence not through confrontation, but by rendering their negativity irrelevant. Lesson 4. Control the narrative. Enemies often seek to control how others perceive you by spreading lies or distorting the truth. The Stoics understood the importance of owning your narrative. By living authentically and with integrity, you ensure that your actions speak louder than any words your enemies can muster. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. For I seek the truth. This openness to self-correction demonstrates confidence and humility, two traits that are difficult for enemies to undermine. When faced with false accusations, resist the urge to overreact. Defend yourself calmly with facts and consistency. People are more likely to believe someone who acts rationally than someone who lashes out in anger. Your steadiness reinforces your credibility, while your enemies' manipulations reveal their desperation. Owning your narrative also means staying true to your principles, even when it's tempting to stoop to your enemy's level. Short-term victories through deceit or retaliation often lead to long-term losses. Instead, focus on building a reputation of honesty and virtue that can withstand any attack. Over time, the truth will prevail. Lies and distortions cannot survive in the light of authenticity and integrity. By controlling your narrative, you ensure that your legacy is defined by your character, not by the actions of your enemies. Lesson 5. Turn their energy against them. The Stoics often spoke of using an opponent's energy to your advantage. This concept, similar to the principles of martial arts, is about redirecting the force of your enemy's actions back onto them. Instead of resisting or retaliating directly, you allow their own hostility to unravel their efforts. As Seneca stated, a sword never kills anybody, it is a tool in the killer's hand. Similarly, your enemy's actions can become tools for their own undoing. Imagine someone at work who constantly tries to sabotage your ideas. Instead of confronting them aggressively, involve them in discussions about your projects. Seek their input publicly, so their sabotage becomes more difficult. This approach forces them to engage in constructive behavior, or their negativity will become evident to others. Either way, their actions work to your benefit. This principle applies to emotional provocations as well. If someone is trying to anger or provoke you, calmly agreeing or remaining neutral disarms them completely. Their aggression loses its power because you haven't resisted or reacted in the way they expected. By staying calm, you highlight their rationality, making others more likely to question their motives. Turning an enemy's energy against them requires patience and strategy. It's about understanding their intentions and finding ways to use those intentions to your advantage. This doesn't mean manipulation in a malicious sense, but rather protecting yourself by allowing their actions to reveal their own weaknesses. By mastering this skill, you create a dynamic where your enemies effectively destroy themselves. Their efforts to harm you backfire, reinforcing your strength and composure while exposing their vulnerabilities. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom in action. Lesson 6. Rise above petty conflicts. One of the most powerful ways to defeat your enemies without fighting is to refuse to engage in petty conflicts. The Stoics believed that dignity and composure were far more effective than retaliation. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. B1. Consider a situation where someone criticizes you publicly. The temptation might be to argue or defend yourself. However, by remaining silent and composed, you demonstrate confidence and strength. Over time, your silence speaks volumes, while their criticism diminishes in importance. People respect those who rise above drama and conflict. Rising above doesn't mean ignoring injustice, it means choosing your battles wisely. Address significant issues with reason and poise, but don't waste energy on trivial disputes. This practice not only preserves your peace but also enhances your reputation as someone who values integrity over conflict. This approach also aligns with the Stoic focus on controlling what you can and letting go of what you cannot. You cannot control what others say or do, but you can control your response. By refusing to lower yourself to their level, you maintain your self-respect and show that their actions are beneath you. Over time, your refusal to engage in pettiness will frustrate your enemies. They'll realize that they cannot provoke or control you, leaving them powerless. In contrast, you'll emerge stronger with your dignity intact and your energy directed toward more meaningful pursuits. Lesson 7. Build a strong network. Isolation makes you vulnerable, while strong alliances protect and empower you. The Stoics valued community and believed that surrounding yourself with virtuous and supportive people was essential for a good life. Epictetus said, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them. A supportive network helps you maintain perspective and face challenges with confidence." When dealing with an enemy, a strong network acts as a shield. Imagine someone trying to discredit you at work. If you've built solid relationships with colleagues who respect and trust you, their attempts will fall flat. Your reputation, supported by others' opinions, becomes an unbreakable defense. Building a network isn't about using people for your benefit, it's about mutual growth and support. Invest time in nurturing meaningful relationships with people who share your values and inspire you to grow. These connections not only provide strength during conflicts, but also enrich your life in countless ways. A strong network also serves as a source of wisdom. When facing challenges, the perspectives of trusted friends or mentors can help you navigate situations more effectively. Their advice can offer clarity and prevent you from making impulsive decisions that your enemies could exploit. By building and maintaining a strong network, you create a fortress of support and goodwill. Your enemies will find it increasingly difficult to harm you, as their efforts are countered not just by your strength, but by the collective strength of those who stand with you. Lesson 8. Stay focused on your goals. Enemies often seek to distract you, pulling your attention away from your purpose. The Stoics emphasize the importance of staying focused on what truly matters. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you allow your enemies to divert your focus, you give them power over your life. Instead, keep your eyes on your goals and let your progress speak for itself. This approach not only ensures that you continue to grow, but also frustrates your enemies as their efforts to derail you fail. Staying focused requires discipline and a clear sense of purpose. Regularly reflect on your goals and the steps needed to achieve them. When distractions arise, remind yourself of your priorities and the long-term impact of your choices. This mindset keeps you grounded and resilient in the face of challenges. Enemies often thrive on drama and distractions. By refusing to engage, you deny them the satisfaction of pulling you into their chaos. Instead, your consistent progress highlights their own lack of direction, making their negativity irrelevant. This practice isn't just about defeating your enemies, it's about living a fulfilling and purposeful life. When you stay focused on your goals, you build a legacy that no one can take away. Your success becomes the ultimate response to those who sought to bring you down. Lesson 9. Lead by example. One of the most effective ways to disarm your enemies is to lead by example. The Stoics believed that virtue and character were the highest forms of strength. By embodying the values you believe in, you inspire respect and admiration, even from those who oppose you. Imagine someone who constantly criticizes your work ethic. Instead of engaging in arguments, continue to demonstrate diligence and professionalism. Over time, your actions will speak louder than their words, silencing their criticism and earning the respect of others. Leading by example requires consistency and integrity. It's not about appearing virtuous, but about genuinely living according to your principles. This authenticity is what makes your example so powerful, as it cannot be undermined by false accusations or petty attacks. This approach also has a transformative effect on those around you. Your dedication and integrity inspire others to rise to your level, creating an environment where negativity has no place. In this way, you not only neutralize your enemies, but also elevate the people around you. By leading by example, you demonstrate that strength comes from within. Your enemies will find themselves powerless, as their negativity is overshadowed by the light of your character. This is the essence of Stoic leadership, conquering through virtue rather than force. Lesson 10. Practice forgiveness as a weapon. Forgiveness might seem like a weakness, but in reality it's one of the most powerful tools in the Stoic arsenal. When you forgive your enemies, you free yourself from the burden of anger and resentment, allowing you to move forward unencumbered. Seneca wrote, "To forgive is not to condone, but to free oneself from needless suffering." Forgiveness disarms your enemies because it removes their power to control your emotions. Imagine someone who wronged you deeply. By forgiving them not for their sake, but for your own, you show that their actions hold no sway over your peace of mind. This response often confuses and frustrates those who expect retaliation. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or allowing someone to harm you again. It's about letting go of the emotional weight and choosing to rise above the situation. This practice not only protects your inner peace, but also demonstrates immense strength and maturity. Enemies often rely on your anger to keep the conflict alive. By forgiving them, you end the cycle and take control of the narrative. This act of grace is not a sign of weakness, but of unshakable confidence and wisdom. Ultimately, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It allows you to move forward with clarity and purpose, unburdened by the past. In forgiving your enemies, you destroy their hold over you, proving that true strength lies in the ability to let go. The Stoic way of dealing with enemies is not about aggression or revenge, but about mastering yourself, rising above conflict, and living with integrity. By applying these principles, you not only protect your peace, but also emerge stronger, wiser, and untouchable. If you found this video insightful, please like and subscribe to Stoic Resonate. Let us know in the comments which Stoic principle resonated most with you, or share a topic you'd like us to explore next. Remember, the best way to defeat your enemies is to outgrow them. Stay strong, stay stoic,